All right, we are back here on Sportsline, breaking down the Titans' big win in Kansas City over the Chiefs, 22-21, coming back from 21-3 down at the half. 19 unanswered points to get it done, and now a trip to Foxborough to take on the defending Super Bowl champion Patriots Saturday night, 7:15. You can watch that game, by the way, on NewsChannel 5. We will have special pregame and postgame coverage on Saturday night. We will also have a special pregame show Friday night at 6:30 on NewsChannel 5. Our coverage from Foxborough begins with reports on Thursday. So we got you covered all week long on this game. We certainly have you covered here on the program tonight. We invite you to join in. 737-7767 is the number if you'd like to call up and be a part of the conversation. Let's say hello to Timothy. Timothy, thanks for waiting. You're next up here on Sportsline.
How you doing? What's going on with you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for the call.
Okay, this is what I want to say. I want to wind this Titans team back to the game back in Jacksonville last year.
Okay.
Nobody think about the situation with Marcus Mariota when he went down last year. So Marcus Mariota is playing with a serious chip on his shoulder about getting his leg broke. If they wouldn't have stopped us, then we would have got in. And like I tell everybody, they didn't want to see a Titans team then in the playoffs, just like they don't want to see a Titans team now. But we're in there. We're in there. So for all the rest of the NFL that's been hating on the Titans and don't want to see Titans succeed in the playoffs, hey, y'all just got to sit back and watch us like we've been watching y'all for 9, 10 years. So the way I feel about the Titans, I love them. It's our time. So buckle up, put the chin straps on, and let's go play some hard-nosed football. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, thanks, Timothy. Good call. It'll be interesting to see how far they can go with this thing and if it truly is their time. But I do think timing is important here because a year ago, you can certainly make the argument because the Titans were hot at the end of the season as opposed to this year where they kind of limped into that Jacksonville game. A year ago, you can argue they were the better team in the month of December, but I'm not sure they were quite ready to take that step and be a playoff team. Yes, Marcus Mariota went down in Jacksonville, and I think that certainly fuels his fire for this time of year because he was robbed the opportunity to really compete for the playoffs last year with that. But remember, they were down multiple scores in Jacksonville when he went down. That was a game where they just did not show up and play well even before Marcus went down. So I'm not sure they would have gotten there last year, even if he stayed healthy, because I'm just not sure they were ready. And that's the thing about this year. They haven't played as well. They haven't clicked on all cylinders quite in the same way they did last year. But you know what? This is a team that even when they played ugly football, figured out a way to win a lot of the time this year. Enough to get themselves into the playoffs, and then last week, they found it. And I think the second half in Kansas City last week was the best half of football we've seen this team play all year. Now, a half of football isn't going to be enough in New England. I don't think it will be. But if you can somehow bottle that and take it over and extend it, which they've been trying to do all year, and play 3 quarters or play a full game, now you start to have a chance against a team like the Patriots. We'll see if they can do it. Back to the phones we go. Let's say hello to Jan. Jan, thanks for the call.
Hey, man, how you doing?
Doing great.
I love your show, man, and you stuck with the Titans through the bad times and the good times.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And I really believe they have a chance this week, man. One of the big things I think they got to do is shut down the Edelman-Gronkowski thing, the picks across the front, and then they fake the pick and go out. And the Titans, I think, have a defense that can do that. And to be honest with you, I believe that their running game, if they can get their running game going, and Marcus Mariota pulls out all the stops and does the run thing when he has to and stretches that defense out, I think they got a damn good chance.
I think they're going to have to tackle, to your point, Jan, exceptionally well. Because when they do those passes across the middle, the crossing patterns, you're going to have to tackle those guys when they complete those and not let them get yards after the catch. When they do the screen passes, you're going to come up and have to tackle them and not let them make guys miss and get yards that way. I think it's going to be a very important game for them to tackle. And you talk about the running game as well. It's important to get yards. It's important to be productive. it's also important to convert and get first downs with it. And like I said earlier, keep Tom Brady and that offense on the field. The best defense you can possibly play against that Patriots offense is to just keep them off the field. Play keep away from them. And the Titans are designed to do that. Now, they haven't always been able to execute and to have the time of possession and dominate in the way they want with the running game throughout the course of the year, but they did Saturday. And if they can carry that over to New England and have similar type of success with the running game, that can go a long ways. And here's the thing. There are a lot of people in New England. I've been on radio up there this week and other things. There are some people there who are looking at this as a second bye week for the Patriots. 14-point favorites in the game. You're facing a team that's an 80-1 long shot now to win the Super Bowl. Nobody believes the Titans can go up there and win. If the Patriots at all have that type of an attitude, look out. Because this is a Titans team that believes they can play with anybody. And here's the thing. Their goal going into Saturday should be, let's get this game to the fourth quarter. If they can get to the fourth quarter within a score, similar to like it was in Kansas City, all of a sudden the collar gets a little bit tighter for Brady and company there because they're expected to win. They're expected to handle the Titans at home. And if it's a tight game, they're going to have to deal with that. Meanwhile, the Titans, all these tight games they've been in throughout the course of the year where they figured out a way to win most of them, they're going to be pretty confident if they get the ball down 4, down 3, and hand the ball to Marcus Mariota with 5 minutes to go. They're going to be pretty confident that they can go up there and actually get the win. So keep it tight. Keep Brady off the field. Don't let them go crazy. And then get it to the fourth quarter where you believe you've got a chance to win. See if they get tight. Back to the phones we go. Let's say hello to Brian. Brian, thanks for the call.
Hey, you know me, I've never been the biggest backer. I got a lot of grief from it from your cohort. What's his name? John Robinson or something?
John Burton. John Robinson's the general manager.
Burton, yeah, John Robinson's the coach of California, right? Burton, yeah. Burton, he really hammered me for coming down. I thought that Mariota would get us to a point of maybe the playoffs. I didn't see him as a franchise quarterback. I didn't think he had the strongest legs. Hawaii, I just wasn't ever a big backer. But that being said, New England's got their own problems. They've got a lot of discord being sown amongst the coach and the quarterback. And we could go ooga booga and put a hex on them, I think. What do you think?
Maybe. Let's face it, though. New England always has controversy, whether it's Spygate or Deflategate or whatever gate you want to talk about. They always have controversy surrounding that team. It seems like they embrace that, though, and they just circle the wagons and play well. I don't think they're going to be distracted by the Belichick and Kraft and Brady stuff. I think they'll be ready to go. The question is, how seriously do they take the Titans? This is a team that's never given them fits in the recent history up there. This is a team that nobody's giving a chance to go up there and win against them. So just how much do the Pats throw into that? Are they overlooking them perhaps a little bit? And if they do, look out, because I think this Titans team is good enough to come up and bite somebody if that's the case.
Crazier things have happened, and you know it's been a crazy year in football.
Oh, it's definitely been a crazy year in football. And Brian, thanks for the call. Look, you want to get to the playoffs because when you get there, anything can happen. And you have a chance. Nobody thought the Titans were going to go to Kansas City and win last week. But they figured out a way to do it. So now nobody thinks they're going to win in New England. But they're not going to back down from the challenge or, not take the trip just because nobody else thinks they can do it. They believe they can go do it. And they're ready for that chance. They understand that the next step for this team is in front of them. They took a step this year. They got to the playoffs for the first time in 9 years, and they won a game. So now they're into the divisional round. That's a great step for this year. And I think it's a great step even if they go and lose to New England on Saturday. But ultimately, this is a team and a franchise that ultimately wants to win a Super Bowl and bring a Super Bowl here to the city of Nashville. And for those players and those coaches, they certainly understand that, and they know that to do that, you got to win another game. And who better to win that game against than the team that's won more Super Bowls than anybody lately in New England? That certainly would stamp your arrival. Let people know you're coming and you're joining that party of the elites in the National Football League. And we'll see. We'll see if they can go get it done on Saturday. I know a lot of people do not believe that they can. Our phone lines are still open, 737-7767, the number. We got to take another break. We will come back, get right back to more of your calls right after this.